I'm about to show y'all how I got this 30-inch bust down with all this luscious volume and fullness. You should stay a while. I already went ahead and sewed down the closure. This is a 5x5 closure, so we can get nice deep parting spaces. So this is the first bundle of 30 inches, and I am quadrupling this track. So I start by sticking the needle into the part that's folded to keep it together and secure. And then I go ahead and slide the other two ends onto the needle. So right now I'm getting a little bit of resistance because the weft is sewn tightly, and that helps to ensure minimal shedding. Most people go ahead and draw their guidelines and stitch the wefts across the cap, but I do mine a little bit differently. I'm gonna go around in like a U shape because personal preference, I don't like to have those little spaces in the front of the wig in between each row. And also I do it this way because I want the hair to fall into the face and not really fall to the side of the face, if that makes sense. Now you can put the track all the way up to the closure, but I'm doing it this way because I want to keep all of this weight, because remember, the track is quadrupled. I want to keep all of this weight in the back and also keep that length on the sides. So this method is also good when you're dealing with different lengths. So just like how you have 30 inches in the back, you want to have 30 inches on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this all the way around using the lock stitch method. And my stitches are about a finger width apart or less. And you want to make sure you stop the track about the same area where you started it on the other side. So make sure you do your measurements. This is the rest of that bundle, and it's not going to give me a full row, so I'm going to measure it out and place it to where it's even still on both sides, and it's still quadrupled. And the reason that I'm not going to continue it from the front is because I want that weight and that fullness at the back of my wig, so those ends at the back can still be full. So I'm gonna start it right here, about an inch from where I started the first track, and I'm gonna go around. Same thing, lock stitch method. Excuse my thin ass hair. I don't really have a specific distance that I do in between each track, but whatever distance I need to do for it to meet at the same side as where I started. So I just continue going around using the lock stitch method, and I'm gonna end it right here. See, it's the same. Moving on to the second bundle, the next track is gonna follow this line, meet the track below it, and then go across. This prevents there being spaces in the front and kind of locks the whole look together. Everything is connected. So I'm gonna start about an inch from the closure, and I do this just so when I'm ready to close up the entire sewing, the entire install, the tracks aren't bunched up at the top. So this kind of gives it a flat, seamless look. And this bundle, I'm doubling. So the first one was quadrupled. This one is just doubled because we're doing 3 bundles, and this is just me using my discretion of how I'm gonna get all this hair to fit in the head. Now I can quadruple it if I want to, but also because this is closer to the front, I want it to be as flat as possible. If I was using 3 different lengths, I wouldn't have brought it up so high. I would have left space for the shortest bundle. So I would have the length at the bottom. And when it comes to me layering it, I won't have to cut off so much hair because I have all the 3 different lengths in the front as well as I have them in the back. So I just keep stitching around until I get to about the same area where I started the track on the other side. And then I'm gonna cut it and then go to the next row. Now, if I was doing a sew-in, I would not cut the tracks because I would want the hair to last as long as possible. And we don't want to have a whole bunch of pieces. But because this is a wig and the hair is what it is, we're gonna cut. The next track is gonna start right here. It's gonna touch because we want everything to be touching and connected so there's no spaces. And we're just gonna bring it all the way around. And I'm just gonna use my discretion as far as the spacing. So this is still the second bundle. So we have a little bit more hair and then one more bundle to go. So I'm just using my discretion and deciding the spacing and just sew it all the way around until we get to the other side. You know the vibe. We're gonna bring it to the other side, which is about the same area where we started the track. Same as usual, very repetitive. And here I'm gonna show you, this is the full 2 bundles. Look how full it is already. Look at the ends, how nice and thick it is. And this is just 2 bundles of 30 inches, y'all. This is 30 inches. You know we're used to that thin, scraggly 30 inches. It's thick, it's full. You can't even see my hands through it. And here I'm just trying to show you guys that this is probably like 5 rows. I was trying to zoom in, but I didn't know how to do it. So yeah, we got the movement, we have the shine, and this is just wash and air dried. There's nothing else going on with this hair. Raw as it comes. See, I told you it was only 2 bundles. Look at the space that we still have left to sew on. And look at these ends. I'm just in awe of how full a 30-inch is. Okay, so we continue sewing. You see this track right here? That was the little piece that was left of the last bundle. And I always put whatever little extra pieces that cannot do a full row, I always put them in the back. Because I'm doing it in a U shape, there will always be a little bit more space in the back. So this helps to close it up and even the front, even the sides to the back. So now this is the last bundle. And this one I'm doing single because we have all this space and we need to close it up and make sure the top is flat as possible. So single wefted, and I'm sewing this first row, this first track directly onto the closure. I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of elevator music while I stitch this track on until we get on to the next thing. So enjoy some jazz, y'all. I don't know where I get these accents from. That was not jazz. But anyways, now that we did that first track going all the way around, that's touching the closure, I'm gonna go ahead and now stack the tracks on top until I get all the way up to the hair on the closure. So you won't see any of that white space. We're just gonna keep stacking it until we get to the top and everything is closed off and seamless. I don't really have any specific guidelines that I follow. I just sew the wefts based on how I want the hair to fall and what makes sense according to how I'm sewing. And there you have it, all closed up to the top. and it's right up to the hair. So you're not gonna see any gaps. And now I'm styling it, and it's in this format because I actually filmed me styling in a completely different video, and this was the only format that I can do it in to get this full 30-inch bust down in the frame. So if you guys want to see me style it and see the final product, check out that video. And if you like the way I did my wig, which is completely different from other people, then make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe and hit that follow. I'm trying to give you guys something different. Oh, and this 30-inch bust down, she's for sale. So if you're interested, you can find her at www.hairmainfocus.com, and the link will be in my description below.